Hey everybody, good morning. I'm Neil, aka the Mundus, and I've got another cool video that I'm bringing you guys today. This is a video that I came up on this collection on eBay for a pretty good, price. I got 4 vehicles out of it and 4 figures out of it. And it's a line that anybody that grew up in the 80s and was into Transformers, GoBots, transforming things, you were gonna love it. And what I picked up just here a few days ago was M.A.S.K. M.A.S.K. was a cartoon, comic book. I think they green-lighted a movie here just recently, but I don't think it's going to go through. But M.A.S.K. was a cartoon that came out when in our prime with between the 3 and 3/4 inch action figures and the 5.5 He-Mans, and it's a 2.75 inch action figure. And it was a line that wasn't made very long, and the cartoon didn't run very long, a couple seasons, and they did a couple series of toys. First series starting off with the whole concept of fighting terrorism against the world, and Matt Tracker and his team going after Venom, Miles, Mayhem, and all that. Then it switched focus and went into like a racing theme, which really didn't make sense, but I don't know, by that point I was kind of like, well, I like the toys, but I think I'm kind of over it. But those first series toys, those were the best. And my favorite character out of them was Condor. So I got him, I picked him up. He's not complete, but yeah, so let's dig right into it. But before we do that, I need to talk about something real quick. And it was brought to my attention the other day by a fan. A fan noticed a shirt in my last video, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle video that I did, and it said Analog Toys on it. Now, I need to make this very clear. Even I support Analog Toys by purchasing their merchandise and things like that. I watch their videos, or I watch Tony's videos, and things like that. I do that for all the other channels that inspire me, like Michael French with Retroblasting, Tony's, Analog Toys, 3POA that he does his podcast where he has Laser Plants, and Bobby Valla and all them. I support those guys because I believe what they put out, the content that they put out, and the mission that they stand for represents what the community should really be representing. And when I find content creators like that, I'm going to support them, and I'm going to buy their shirts, and I'm going to buy their merchandise if and when they have it. But I want to make it very clear, I don't get any compensation for wearing those shirts. I don't get any recognition. I don't get any credit. Nothing like that. This is just a fan representing another creator's product, right? So if I wear those in my video, I'm not getting paid for it. I'm not making anything off of it. I just need to make that very clear. I don't know Tony, I don't know Michael, I don't know Ryan Laserpan, I don't know Bobby Val, I don't know those guys personally, but I would love to meet them someday. But I support what they do, I back what they do, and by doing that, my contribution to them is buying their merchandise. So you're going to see that from time to time in my videos. I might be wearing their shirts. So don't take offense to it, okay? If you think I need my own creativity of my own shirt, I'm working on that stuff, but I'm not quite there yet. So I'll get there someday, but without further ado, let's dig right into this video. Let's get into these toys and let's have fun. So grab yourself your favorite beverage, a snack, whatever you got to do, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, everybody, so here I am on the other side of the camera, and here's what we got. Here's our M.A.S.K. toy. So I picked this lot up, like I said, for a pretty good price. It's not complete 100%, but for the price that I got on these, the 4 right here, I couldn't pass it up. And I don't know if the individual didn't know what they had or whatnot, but I reached out to them and said, hey, I think you might be a little low on this price point that you're looking to get. I think I picked this whole lot up here for right around 35 bucks. I would have to go back and specifically look at it, but I just know when I saw the price, I thought, well, is this a scam? But with shipping and all that, it came out to around like 43 bucks. And for everything that I'm missing with it, like
on Condor's helicopter. I'm missing the windshield. I'm missing the rockets and the I guess you could call it the side car covers for the rockets or missiles, whatever you want to call it, over there on Vampire's motorcycle. Missing the rest of the bike setup on Piranha, and then I'm missing the back fin over here on Firefly's, tail, the spoiler. So, I mean, for the price, and those are little things that I can pick up here and there to finish it off and make it complete. But the two action figures that you see over here, Matt Tracker and Miles Mayhem, obviously this is not either one of their helmets. This is Gator's helmet down here. These two come from a personal friend's collection, one of my best friend's collection, and I came into his toy line, or his toys here about a year ago, and picked them up, and those two were in there, so they're in really good shape. Actually, all the figures, joints and all that, and the paint is all in really, really good shape. But going down the line, I know I kind of jumped out of order on it, but over here we have Condor with Brad Turner. He's from Series 1. He's probably one of my most favorite action figures and vehicles from the line. It's a toss-up between him and Gator because I had them both. I got them both for a birthday one year. I think it was like my 7th birthday or something like that. So those were just really special, really good memories. He's probably one of my favorites. And his sticker, the M.A.S.K. sticker's intact over there. So I'm pretty stoked that I got him. Even though I'm missing the windshield, I can pick that up later on, but it's not the end of the world for me. And then down here in front we have Piranha, the sidecar / submarine, which has got Slide Rex. He's also from Series 1, and like I said, they're all in really good shape. His fins do come out. This one seems to be stuck here on the right hand side, and I got to work on that a little bit and tweak it, but I should be able to get that back and running. And then back here on the motorcycle we have Vampire and Floyd Malloy from Series 2. Never had him, but I thought, well, hey, he comes with this lot, I'm not going to pass it up. But he was never one that I really absolutely had to have, that I remember. But yeah, he is part of the Venom, the bad guy line. So, and then jumping down here in front, we have Firefly with Julia Lopez. He was actually one in the racing line that, even though I really didn't care for the racing line, when M.A.S.K. switched focus on these toys, I was actually really impressed with this car. Something about it popped out at me. I always wanted it, and it turned into like a flying ship. And I always loved the flying ones, like Condor, how it's a motorcycle turns into a helicopter, and how Firefly here turns into like some kind of jet or whatever you want to call it. And I'll open these up here in a minute, but this is my little M.A.S.K. line right here. This brings back great memories, especially with Condor, since I had him. And I just can remember playing for hours and hours and hours on end. Now, what's weird is some people like to cross over their toys into different toy lines, like, maybe playing, Buck Rogers with Star Wars, or G.I. Joe with, 3 3/4 inch 18, things like that. With M.A.S.K., this was one of those lines where I felt M.A.S.K. had to be played by itself, and I don't know if it was just because of the representation of the 2.5-inch action figure size. Really, nothing else went with it, but it was like its own unique little toy line and world, right? Like nothing else could come in and penetrate it to play with it, and it really couldn't, expand and play with anything else in its toy line or outside the toy line. And that I remember finding. I mean, the closest thing would be like, maybe Zoids. I mean, those figures, the little, metal looking guy in there, but he was still small. He was like probably, what, 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch top. So, it was something they really couldn't cross into the boundaries of M.A.S.K. and vice versa, I personally thought. So, like I said, this is the line that was a really cool line that I really, really enjoyed, and I loved what they did and with this line. And like I said, it didn't run very long, this series. It, a couple seasons tops, and then it switched focus into the racing line, and then kind of went downhill from there, in my opinion. They did continue on with the comics for a while, but ultimately it phased out. So, like I said earlier, they did say they were going to greenlight a video on it. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I don't think it's going to happen. I believe there's some conflict there between the licensing and the writing of the script. I would love to see it come out. I think it would make a great movie in modern times, especially with all the cinematography and special effects that we have today. But maybe we'll get that someday. If we, the fans, hit hard enough on it, maybe we'll get the studios to do something with it, or even possibly bring back the toy line. I wouldn't mind seeing a retro re-release of this line. I don't think it would devalue the vintage line in any way. I just think it adds to the newer collectors that can't afford, because some of these action figures and toys in a complete box, really good box, never opened or lightly played with, these M.A.S.K toys are really up there in price. And I think it's just because it didn't run very long, they didn't make a lot of it. Well, I mean, they made a lot of it, but it didn't run very long. They were toys that could easily break if you overplayed with them and were very forceful with them, and you can lose accessories and things like that. One of the biggest accessories to lose were probably, I would have to say, the masks. You'll find more loose action figures like on eBay and Facebook Marketplace, these figures without their masks. So I would assume the mask was probably the number one thing that got lost on these toys. So coming into this toy line that I got here, these little four, was, I couldn't believe the condition that they're in overall for 30 some bucks, and then a little over 40 shipping. So we got great stickers still intact. We got great paint on the figures. The joints and all that are still stiff. Their masks look good. There's no scuffing. Whoever had these, they really didn't play with them that much, and probably somewhere along the line the accessories and all that popped off, and they got lost. So yeah, I hope you like this video. Remember to like and subscribe. Remember to hit that notification button up in the right hand corner. And if you like more videos like this, please comment below and let me know what you would like to see next. And as always, I'm Neil, aka the Mundus, from Yesterland Toys, toys that made sense, and I'll see you in Yesterland.